This video is a little taste of what it is like to drive from Seattle to the Canadian Rockies in the summer. The Canadian border crossing in Sumas was a breeze, and then we were in British Columbia, headed northeast on the Trans-Canada Highway. For the first hour, we were passing the backside of Mount Baker and other mountains we have seen countless times, but never from this side. Then we moved on into the green canyons of mountains that were completely foreign to us. In addition to a washroom and a place to stop, this rest area told the story of how camels were once tried out as a replacement for horses by gold miners in this area. When it was discovered that their feet were not well suited to the rocky terrain, the miners first tried booties, but eventually gave up and set the camels free. There were sightings for some time. We worked our way up and down mountain passes. Some offered spectacular views, and others had scars of recent forest fires. The camels finally died out over half a century ago, but we kept our eyes open, just in case. Just before reaching Kamloops, the climate got much more arid and hot. After hours of mostly wilderness, this was the first significant population center. After refueling, we continued on through the bizarrely sculpted landscape, which gradually transformed back to greenery. Finally, we reached our first national park, Mount Revelstoke. Nope, not the Rockies yet, but beautiful nonetheless. This is followed by Canadian Glacier National Park, which is even more stunning. This drive was gorgeous, with towering cliffs and snowmelt creating cascading waterfalls. It is hard to really tell the scale of this, but those road bits are being attached to cliff faces over 1,000 feet above the valley floor. The engineering it has taken to put the roadway here is truly remarkable. Most of the time you hardly notice it, but in a few places like this, it is hard not to marvel at the vision and ingenuity that must have been required to get the original road through here. After many hours of driving, we crossed into the Canadian Rockies and Yoho National Park. Banff, Jasper, and Kootenay are also part of the Rockies, and we got to visit them all. There is far too much to show here, but here's a little snippet of each. Check out the notes below for links to see more of our adventures there. Radium has a rocky, rugged landscape and is famous for its bighorn sheep. It did not disappoint. They were chilling right on the side of the highway on our way out of town, totally unfazed by the traffic roaring by below. Instead of doubling back and returning on the Trans-Canada Highway, we chose to make our journey into a big loop through northern Idaho and eastern Washington on our way home. We zipped across another painless border crossing and drove down the Idaho panhandle. After the dramatic scenery of the Rockies, it was a bit hard to fully appreciate the landscape of rolling hills. We crossed into Washington and the scenery transformed again, this time to a parched landscape dotted with farms. It was fun passing the farm fields with the giant sprinklers and trying to read the little signs identifying the crops. Dust devils occasionally swirled ominously in empty fields. Would I do this long road trip again? Probably not, but I'm glad I did it once. I especially like the drive on the Trans-Canada Highway. What other options did we have? Well, we could have flown into Calgary or taken a train. The train ride would surely be incredible, and I hope to do it someday, but it actually takes longer than driving, so we didn't have time for that on this trip. Flying into Calgary cuts this trip down from over 20 hours to around 3 from the airport to Banff and back. This is a much safer option during the winter when the passes can be treacherous and unpredictable. Finally, we approached the Cascade Mountains, a sign of home for us that was very welcome after many, many hours of driving. I hope this helps and tickles your travel dreams. Please help us out by liking this video and subscribing. Thank you!